All right, welcome to WebGuru Consulting's tutorial on Bootstrap, CSS, and HTML5. Our goal today is to teach you how to essentially learn the basics of HTML, CSS, and HTML5 with Bootstrap. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to keep these tutorials pretty short so that you're not bored out of your mind, because a lot of this stuff can be pretty redundant and kind of boring. So I'll try to be as exciting as possible even with the redundant stuff. So let's get and jump right in. This tutorial is specifically going to focus on the header of our new site. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, WebGuru Consulting uses Dreamweaver for rapid development. You don't have to use that. You can use any text editor available online, but we like it because it does autofilling. Autofilling is great because it allows you to write code pretty quick. So in our little template, we've zoomed in so that the mobile readers can kind of view our code. But any standard document is going to look exactly the way we have it here. It's going to tell us, hey, doc type HTML5, HTML get ready. Header is kind of like the index of a book. It gives you the information for that particular page, keywords, meta tag, description, title, and so forth. And we'll get more advanced into that later in different tutorials. We'll name this the title of WebGuru Consulting tutorial. That was super exciting, right? You were waiting for the title to be added in the whole time. Not. All right, so let's get ahead and give us some space in the body. The body is where all of your visual content will go. But we do need to bootstrapify our HTML5 doc. So let's go ahead and do that. So we are going to use the CDN network as opposed to downloading a local file. But a CDN is made to be up. We have no idea where this file is hosted, but it's made to be up almost 99.99% of the time. But a forewarning, what will end up happening is if this CDN does look or go down, your website will look like crap because you've lost your CSS Bootstrap file. So what a lot of customers will do, and usually what we do, is we'll load a local copy. One of the advanced ways of doing this is actually running a PHP script to check to see if the CDN's up. If it's up, to serve the CDN file. If not, load a local copy. We're not getting into that. Don't worry about those advanced techniques right now. We're just going to use the CDN because it's almost certain that it is up, but if it's not, then we'll know almost immediately. All right, so all we do is copy that file, copy the script, and of course we're not going to use their optional theme, as it's an optional theme. Okay. We are now bootstrapified, which is really cool. So then what we're going to do is we're going to put Dreamweaver in a live view. So anytime we save it, you'll see those changes immediately. So you know that all the code that we're writing is being applied to your website. So the first thing we need to do is create a container. And a container is essentially everything that holds in the information for our website. There's two of them, container and container-fluid. Container-fluid is essentially 100% width. Container kind of squeezes you in, similar to those things that females wear when they're trying to look super skinny. So that is what our container is doing. Cool. We now have a container. And it wouldn't be proper if we did not notate the end of the container, because who does not like notes? All right, so now go header, and then row as a class, and think of rows as kind of like the building block of your website. They sit on top of each other, and then inside of our header, we are going to create a section. And everything on Bootstrap is mobile friendly first, so we do the mobile class, which will be section class column-xs.12, because we want our logo section to be full width. Whoop, can't type today, guys. There we go, logo section. All right. Now on tablets, we want this to be not as wide because that'll look super weird. Who wants a humongous logo on a tablet instead of the content. Whoops, we don't want 12. We want 3. We don't want medium, we want small. Okay, so everything in Bootstrap is based on a 12 column layout. So essentially 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12, right? So when you're writing columns, think of them like a newspaper. A column is how wide you want that particular column to be based on a 12 width column. So think of 12 as 100%. And if you go from there, 3 is going to be 30%, 2 is 20%, 10 is 10%. It's not the actual values. I'm just giving you a relational standpoint so you can understand what Bootstrap is doing on the back end. So we have our logo section. We're going to call this the shoe company, or shoe company for short. And then, of course, we're going to create a navigation to the right of that. Let's go ahead and do a column XX-12 because it looks better wide on a mobile platform. And then on small screens like tablets and above, SM. Remember, everything is based on 12 columns, so 9 plus 3 is 12. My kindergarten teacher would be so proud of me. I know how to do my additions table. And then, of course, stop it. There we go. Now, there's multitudes of ways of creating menus online. Most popular is using an unordered list, but you can literally create a menu however you feel like it once you become more advanced. So in LI, we're going to call home. Then we're going to do about us. And then we'll do a contact us page. Cool. Now let's go ahead and link these up. Okay, href, do pound, and then you put the A in the wrong place, Dreamweaver. Put another link. I know I got quiet for a moment. And that's just because I'm trying to set this up so we can get to the next step. Alright, cool. So our links are set up correctly. Awesome. So now what we've done is we have created our header. We'll save that. So now you see the shoe company and the menu. So if you want to see the action of what Bootstrap does, let's go ahead and squeeze this down a little bit. Okay. So now that we're in a aka mobile view, you notice that our shoe company is now sitting on top, and then our main navigation is below that. And that's because we told it that when you're in mobile view to always be 12 and 12 on the navigation. But when we get larger, you notice that the navigation floats to the right and the shoe company moves to the left as expected. So now what we need to do is make this a little bit prettier because it's really freaking ugly and nobody likes ugly code. So we want to stay with a consistent theme of colors. It's friendly to the eye, psychologically, colors that work together help with user interface design and so forth. There's a whole methodology behind color schemes and how your brain interacts and all this mojo that I really don't feel like getting into. But there is a methodology behind your color scheme. So you want to make sure that your colors are very consistent in the design that you're looking to accomplish. You know, banks may use blue for trust, or even green if they want to use money. Red is kind of like stop, look at me type situation. So really depending on the type of site that you're looking to design, that's the color scheme you kind of want to go with. So we're going to keep very basic, traditional, corporate style colors right here. But Adobe Color provides easy to use type of color generation. So you can actually kind of pick different ways of colors that kind of go to with each other. And you can spin this wheel around until you kind of get the code color schemes that you kind of want. And actually, I kind of like that blue that was there. Let's go there. Cool. That was just a random selection. that works. Sometimes that's the way design goes. So let's create our menu. Our header should be random, random, random. I guess we'll just go with that. Oh, look at that. My CPU temperature is up there. That's cool. My computer's about to fry out. Just kidding. All right. So we have our first color, but now we need to create some CSS. So first I create a folder for all my CSS files, and then I do custom.css. Okay, now I need to tell the page to use the CSS file. So in Dreamweaver, that's easy by simply attaching the file, custom.css, boom, done, quick. Already got the style sheet built in. Now it's already referencing it. I save it. I can access this now. We'll go to our header. We'll go backgrounds. Hex colors, always use a hash or pound signal depending on the generation that you're in, learning to code. And then for you guys to see this in action, we'll give this a min height of 50px. Let's go back to real time. Nice. Now we have a header section. Now, what's nice about the container is on mobile, it automatically goes to 100% width, so you don't have this weird outline. But anything above that, it'll automatically start centering your content, as you can see there. Cool, right? And we didn't have to write a single line of code for centering items or worrying about the different dimensions of screen sizes. Bootstrap handled all of that for us so we can specifically focus on the design of our website. Okay, so now we have that set up. Let's go ahead and mess with our logo. So the logo, let's make a color white. And I always forget this text transform. I remembered it today. There we go. Uppercase. Boom. Shoe company. I don't like the way that it looks. So we're gonna do a font weight. Nope. I didn't say normal. I said 500. Listen to me. Oh, now you're gonna mess with me? Give me a second. Let's do bold. There we go. Now, actually, I really, really hate the way this looks. So we're going to incorporate Google Fonts. Google Fonts is free fonts you can use throughout your website. Also simple to use, uses Google's CDN networks to deliver these files as well. So we're going to use, let's see, Titanium Web. Sure, whatever. This should help with our site. So we'll copy the code that Google gives us. We'll go back to our source code here. We want that to load first. And then we're going to tell the site, stop warning me. Jeez. So now what we do is to target the entire website for the type of body font that we want, and to nest multiple tags together, you just use a comma. So HTML body. Oops. And then we paste that code that Google gave us. As for why I'm creating so much space, I have no idea. Today's just an off day for me. All right, cool. So let's go back to our real-time preview. So this is the crappy font that we had before. Save. And we have to save our source code. Boom. Look at that. Nice, crisp text. But we can't see our A links. So let's change that up. So we'll do nav. Did we give an ID to our nav? Are we forgetting things today? We did forget to give it a menu, an ID. So we're going to call this main menu. Cool. So now we can target this in our CSS. Okay. So we do pound main menu. And we want to, whoops. Damn autofill. There we go. A, and we want to change those colors to white. Now, if we want to stay with our consistent color theme, we'll go back to our colors, and our links should actually be consistent with our color scheme. So we save that, go back to our real-time preview, and that was probably not a good color to choose. Let's try a lighter. Oh, nope, that was a good color to choose. I forgot my hashtag. See, you forget your hashtag, you run into problems. There we go. Now we have a consistent blue. Now the other thing that we want to do is get rid of those stupid little dots. So list style, none. Oh, we didn't target the UL. There we go. So we did main menu, UL, because the UL is what's dictating that. And the other thing you want to do is sometimes Bootstrap kind of does its own margins on the UL because it's expecting it in a document, not as a menu. That's why there's different ways of creating menus so you don't run into these particular issues. But now you noticed everything's in the left, but our text is looking super crispy, which I really like. All right, so now that we did that, let's go ahead and target our LIs. Now there's a couple ways to target LIs, and depending on how advanced you get with your main menus, you can use UL and then target the LI, and that'll be that first row. Or you can just target all LIs and then tell all LIs to serve the same exact process. So since we don't have any other LIs besides these three, we're not going to worry about any advanced programming at this point. So the LIs, I will use inline, display, inline, block. That gets rid of that whole under the name symbol that's there. And then of course we kind of want to give the margin right about 5 pixels. Okay. So then what we're going to do here is we're going to change our A to a block, and then our width 100%, height 100%. Well, actually, height won't matter because we have not set a height on the UL. So we'll create some padding to kind of give it some centering. Let's do 12 pixels. So now we have a nice LI that the A is fully clickable when they go over it. And if you want to look at, all right, I gotta get rid of this message. My CPU's fine at 65 degrees Celsius. Stop bothering me. Here we go. All right, cool. So now our logo, we probably want to do padding at 12 px as well. Now everything's centered in our new menu. Now one of the things we probably want to do is pull this to the right. So in CSS, that's super simple as well. And we do that by going to our class and we go UL class pull right. Awesome. There we go. So now we have our logo over here and our menu to the right. See? So now we're mobile friendly. And it expanded the entire way. Anyway, I was playing around, don't know why. But now we have our basic header, which brings us to the end of our tutorial. I know you guys are so sad, but so far we've got our great header, which is looking amazing. We have some consistent color consistency with the website. We're also allowing you to understand what the container did. So when we go to mobile, it goes there. And if we really wanted to be fancy, just to end this tutorial on a high note, we'll do text online center. See, and it moved the fancy logo to the shoe company. We're not going to target in media queries, but we can center this UL and everything as well. But we won't do that for now. Now, there's another way to create menus, which is built into Bootstrap. Bootstrap has a built-in menu, which actually makes this mobilized. So at the very end of this tutorial, we'll replace this entire navigation with the Bootstrap version of it. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions, anything that I may have missed that you didn't understand, leave it in the comments section. Don't forget to visit webguruconsulting.com. We have some great free information on the website as well, including obviously the services that we provide for businesses, websites, and startups as a whole. This is Carlos, webguruconsulting.com. Have a great day.